So we're back with another ADV knife. This is the Javelin from Andre de Villiers. Sent to me straight from ADV to me here in the United States, and ultimately going to go to my buddy Nick down in New Zealand. Okay? What you're going to get when you buy from them is a zippered pouch, nothing super fancy. It will hold 2 normal size knives or one big bad boy from ADV. Right? This isn't a small knife by any means, but it's not overly huge either. Here it is next to something kind of comparable, the Medford Knife and Tool Praetorian. This is the grenade tie, and what I have been carrying now 240 something days, the Frank Fisher King Battle. Just to give you some size comparisons as we start, because this one really does kind of mimic very closely to the Medford Praetorian. Okay, we'll get them all scratched up here so that Nick won't have to worry about scratching them when he gets it. Oops. All right, so we'll put those out of the way for a second. ADV threw in the lanyard and the beads separate for free for Nick because he had bought, was it 5 or 6? I don't know, 5 or 6 knives. This is the last in the bunch. And out of that group of them, this is really my favorite one. I don't know why. And it's a button lock, and I really don't care for button locks. And I won't lie and say that this is perfect by any means. I wish it was a liner lock, and then I would like it more. You know what I mean? The button works great if I get my thumb on it properly. So the action on this thing is phenomenal with both the thumb and the flipper tab. It does have this safety, which does make me more comfortable with a button lock. If you're really going to be doing work and using this more hard-ish, it is nice to have the safety. And what that does, let's just zoom in and look at this. And I talked about it on one of the other ones. Get a light over here. So the safety is engaged right now. And if I disengage it, now the button can move. See if I can show that here. There you go. Now you can see the button going in and out. So what this does is the safety just slides a metal plate there under the button, so the button cannot depress either when it's opened or when it's closed. Now you're not getting this open any which way you try. So not that this is going to deploy by accident in your pocket or anything, but it does give you that option. Again, button locks, not my favorite thing, but the shape of this, the feel of it in your hand, even though it's got some smudges on here, even though I thought I wiped it all off. I think what it is I need to put this microfiber in the wash because it's wiped off so much oils and stuff. Now I think there's just oils and things in the microfiber. So let me set it back over there so I can remember to go and do that. I love a recurve, as you can tell from the one I've been carrying every day for 240 plus days. This is a double recurve Tonto, but yeah, very similar in size. A little bit broader blade on the Javelin. Liner lock versus the button lock. Of course, they're different knives, but sort of similar. This one's bigger and heavier in one regard. This one is lighter. What you have here is titanium liners, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip with the roller. So it works really good in and out of the pocket. S35VN blade steel and 2 different colors of G10 on the scales. I love the way that looks. Now the goldish, it's not even gold color, like goldish rust color of the accents is not my favorite color choice, but Nick likes it because Nick commissioned this whole thing. And I think it does play off of the tan or coyote, whatever they call this G10. I think that does complement all of that. So I don't hate it, if that makes sense, right? You got thumb studs that work equally well as the flipper tab. You have a little bit of a recurve there. Like, it's a good looking knife in my book. The lanyard, I'm not a lanyard guy. I would probably take it off if it was mine. But I just don't do lanyards regardless. The skull thing, I do like skulls, so I have no problem with that. It's just the fact of a lanyard hanging out and dangling in my pocket that I'm just not a fan of. But that's okay. All in all, though, yeah, out of all of the ADVs that I have, I think, ever reviewed, because I've done one of these before, the Javelin, it's my favorite model. Because I was a fan of that kind of big overbuilt look and feel back when that was super popular. And it's still sort of popular, but I think we've now moved as an industry and as a community into more smaller things. Like, this is not even really in that overbuilt category in my book. This is. Yes, this is thicker, but this, I think the overbuilt really kind of plays into that tall blade, that big, broad, wide blade. Okay. It's a frame lock. Nothing super fancy. I mean, it's got a nice blade, but the rest is just normal with some milling. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah. So, but I think this one, I'm just now at this point, 240 something days in. Now I'm just going for the 366 just to cover complete year. And then I'll do a video about what it was like to carry one knife for an entire year. And y'all may be surprised at some of my thoughts on that. It's going to be interesting. I'm still gathering my thoughts. I still have time to go. But yeah, so it's about the end of the year, 2024 is when that year timeframe will be up. But this thing feels great in the hand. It cuts really well. It came really sharp. Let me give you some of the specs in case anybody cares. It's just a hair under 5.5 inches closed and just a hair over 9 3/4 open. It gives you 4.36 inches of blade. It gives you a lot of blade. The King Battle's 4 1/4. So the blade is a little bit longer than on the King Battle. Okay. Which ends up after the finger choil and all that, not really a finger choil, that big sharpening choil or very tiny finger choil, however you want to look at it, gives you just a hair over 4 inches of blade, which is great. 0.018 behind the edge on both. S35VN weighs in at 8.6 ounces. The King Battle is like 11 and it carries fine. A VC Edge interface that I don't have here with me because they're back at the mothership doing spa. Those are like 1.5, 1.6 ounces. So I carry everything in between. And it runs on bearings and has a super smooth action. It's a button lock, so you got to get the timing kind of right and whatnot. But it is a very fun, fidgety knife. I don't hate the colors. I love the black and the tan. Maybe like a black and red with red liners. Maybe blacked out liners and just a pop of red. I don't know. I talk about it because for some strange reason, this is one I kind of would like to own at some point, is this model. Even though it's a button lock, I don't know if I can bring myself to do that. These are in that, depending on configuration and whatnot, in that $700-800 US range, give or take. As you change materials and you move up, that's going to obviously change the pricing. How about a couple of quick size comparisons with the Sharpie and the Spyderco Delica, and then we will let you go about your day. Kind of rambled a little bit there, but it gives you a look. I will put a ADV playlist up here in the corner. Go check it out. yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And Nick in New Zealand, thank you very much. You will get stickers, of course, because you loaned a knife in. So I thank you for that. There might have been stickers in your other box. I don't remember now. Because I think I forgot him in his first shipment. And I've got this knife and one more under the table here to film for him. And then I can ship those back, I think. No, he's got 3 more knives coming to me. He'll get them at some point. Thanks, Nick, for trusting me with all this stuff for the weeks and weeks that I've had them, and then the weeks it's going to take to get to you. So I really appreciate all that. Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic day.